Video tutorial series. In this series, we will cover the basics of how to use the connector, some best practices to make your use of the connector more effective, as well as some advanced functions to supplement your outreach and enrollment work. In today's video, we're going to cover how to create a user. This works for any user in your organization who will need to access the backend or admin side of the connector. To start, click on the Admin tab, and under Authentication, click the Users. Have the ability to view and edit different users within your organization. You can impersonate a user, meaning to view the connector as if you were that user, if you have that level of permission. You have the ability to edit or delete users, as well as to add a user. You can also use the filters as a way to search for different factors of a partner. So for instance, there are organizations in here using my name that I've created, and I'd be able to find the users based on just that organization. But we want to focus on how to create a user. So we'll click this green Add User button, and it takes us to this Create User page. You'll have a number of different things to create your user with. For starters, is the basic information about this user, including their first and last name, their email address, which is going to be used for both allowing them to access the connector as well as for notifications that they will get about their appointments, as well as selecting the organization that they are a part of. If the organization is already in the connector, you should be able to find them by searching for some to all of the organization's name and finding it by scrolling down the list. If not, you will have to go back up, and under the Organizations tab, you will have to create a new organization. There are a number of different user groups or permissions levels that are available. The three most common ones are the admin user, the connector user, and the scheduling user. The admin user should be for people who are very fluent in the connector and help manage the assisters within the connector. These are going to be the people who will have the ability to not just edit, delete user accounts and locations, but they'll have the ability to impersonate their users below them so they can help with troubleshooting. The connector user is our basic user tab, which allows people to create locations, create an appointment, edit these things, as well as to complete the appointments that they have in the connector. The scheduling user offers a more limited access than the connector user. Most of your users are going to fall on the connector user, but some may be admin users. You can also edit and personally select the different user-specific permissions that are created to add to these things, including adding, edit, deleting, and viewing users, appointments, calls, assisters, locations, organizations, marketing events, notifications. They can also see some of the reports that are available. As we scroll down, we can see that we need to select the states that this user will be able to access. I will select Minnesota, where I'm currently based, for this user. If this user is going to be working across multiple partners or subscribers in the connector, you have the ability to share them within those different organizations. You can also do the same for different organizations that may need to share an assister or locations that the user needs to be added on but may not be associated with their organization. This can be useful in the case of enrollment events or other joint enrollment opportunities. To create a user and return back to the main page, click the Create User button. To view the results and to continue editing this user, click the Save and Continue Editing button. You'll be able to see all the things that we've selected about this user. As we scroll down to the user permissions, what you'll notice is that there are options that are grayed out. These are permissions that are associated by default with the level of permissions that you gave access to. You can give them more permissions than this, but you cannot go less than this for that level of user. So for instance, this scheduling user would be able to, we could add the ability to add and edit assisters to their normal routine. We could also give them the ability to add and edit organizations. We could also give them the ability to add add and edit marketing promotions and activities. This allows for more customization in addition to the features that are built in here, so that you and your organization can tailor your access to the unique needs of your users. You can also see below the default associated permissions that are already active for this user, including adding and changing appointments, deleting and viewing appointments, calls, viewing assisters, changing locations, and so on. This allows you to see and make sure that this user has all the permissions they need without having to go through and rechecking everything above. To finish and save, we would click Update User, and it will take us back to the first screen with a list of users.